The first is evidence of New Londo's advanced culture, at least as far as sorcery goes. And also note that this is sorcery, not a miracle. And that's kind of an interesting point to me, because casters associated with Gwyn often use miracles, not sorcery. But, you know. The next interesting thing is that Ylva was attempting to cleanse the poison in Blighttown. Would have been really great if she had managed to pull that off, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that have been really great? Yeah, that would have been great. The final point of interest is that she was taking her healing arts back to Blighttown, which means she has been there before. And she most likely died there too. Next to the chest with the remedy sorcery is a body wearing the crimson robes and clutching a 10 banishment catalyst, which is the staff of the sealers. So, rest in peace, Ylva. We all wish that you had succeeded in your mission, but you didn't. Probably got poisoned by one of those asshole blow dart guys, which, by the way, a really clever way to get by them that was revealed in a radio interview by the developer. If you use a dung pie to toxic yourself, then the blow dart guys can't inflict you with toxic because you're already intoxicated. However, the damage that you take from a dung pie intoxication is lower than the damage you take from a blow dart intoxication, so you basically immunize yourself against their attacks. They said they actually didn't intend that, but that's just kind of... Alright. This is a lore video, I'm sorry. Just an interesting, crazy little detail to the system, but... the sealers. Unfortunately, I have no information on the final sealer. If you have any solid info, please let me know in the comments. But I don't think there's any information about the third sealer. Also, by special request here, I will briefly mention that there were a couple of planned items related to New Londo that were cut from the final game. One was a chance to hide your presence from ghosts, and another ring that absorbs damage but has a fixed chance to break. Michelle Kobayashi once again to the rescue with an edit of the text dump of the game's dialogue. Check the link below and make sure and go to Michelle Kobayashi's channel with a big thank you. We're talking about a pillar of the community right here. Amazing person. Let's move on to talking about the Four Kings. For anyone out there who is still confused about why exactly you had to battle them, they possessed a shard of a Lord Soul. Now, the Lord Souls were needed as fuel for the Lord Vessel in order to open the kiln of the First Flame. As you remember from the opening movie, there were 4 Lord Souls, and they were taken by Gwyn, the Witch of Izalith, Grave Lord Nito, and the Furtive Pygmy. So, the burning question here would be, how the fuck did the 4 Kings get one? Well, actually, they only have a part of a Lord Soul. They have a part of Gwyn's Lord Soul, in fact. After you defeat the Kings, you receive an item called the Bequeathed Lord Soul Shard. There are 2 different items in the game with this name, but they have different descriptions, so one comes from the Kings and the other comes from Seath. The following is the description of the 4 Kings' Soul Shard. Soul of one of the 4 Kings who fell to dark. A fragment of a Lord Soul discovered at the dawn of the Age of Fire. Lord Gwyn recognized the foresight of these 4 great leaders of New Londo and granted them their ranks and the fragments of a great soul. Although this is not a full Lord Soul, it can still satiate the Lord Vessel. And that reveals quite a bit about the Kings. They were actually great leaders of New Londo, and they apparently served Lord Gwyn, as he granted them titles and the fragments of his own Lord Soul. But they turned into assholes of the highest caliber. How did this happen? Despite some people's arguments to the contrary, they appear to have been corrupted by Darkstalker Kath. Kath? Is it Kath or Kate? I always forget. Darkstalker K. I'm gonna call him Mr. K. From now on, when I say Mr. K, I'm talking about the Darkstalker. It's just... my pronunciation's terrible, so... Now hear me out. I know a lot of people out there don't draw a direct connection between K and the Kings. There are three primary reasons why I believe they are connected. First, mortals normally cannot survive the Abyss without the influence of some sort of covenant, like the Covenant of Artorias. Artorias made a pact with the beasts of the Abyss, and it is likely that the Kings also did. Once again, what beast dwells in the Abyss? Mr. K. It is possible, even likely, that there are other beasts, but by name we only know of Cath and Frampt. Second, the Kings utilized the art of life drain. Now, this is a technique for stealing the humanity of another living being, and it is a specialty of Cath and the Dark Wraiths. I decided to say Cath, by the way. Finally, the description of the Dark Sword says, when the four kings were seduced by evil, their knights became Dark Wraiths, servants of the dark who wielded these dark swords. Beyond that, Ingward actually states in one of his dialogues that the four kings are the masters of the Dark Wraiths. So there you have it. The Dark Wraith enemies were once knights of the four kings, and the Covenant itself is led by Cath. Whoa. So former leaders of New Londo, former followers of Lord Gwyn, transformed into humanity-stealing beasts by Darkstalker Cath. Okay, wait a minute, Epic. Last time, you said that linking the fire was the bad ending, and that it played into Gwendolyn's, Frampt's, and possibly Lord Gwyn's plans. Are you saying that both endings are bad? Are you saying that we are being manipulated no matter what we do? Kinda. First of all, I want to clarify that the link to the fire ending isn't necessarily the bad ending. It depends on your point of view. But, let's talk about Cath first, and then we can go from there. To meet Darkstalker Cath, you must first you have to defeat the four kings before you put down the Lord Vessel. He will then be available for conversation in the Abyss. If